Ravi Kumar. I have three questions. The first question is, the father of the nuclear program, Homi Bhabha, his death was accidental. And similarly, Vikram Sarabhai's death also came all of a sudden. And we are talking of 70s and 60s when India was closely associated with USSR. Do you think there was some kind of conspiracy in killing or getting rid of people who were assisting the nuclear and space programs in the country? So that is the first question.
Okay.
Because I believe that there could have been external...
Fine. Next.
Second question is, as you know that not many of them know about Professor Brahm Prakash, and you also told me that he had contributed significantly to the technological development in the country. And there are a lot of metallurgists who have led atomic energy programs, but hardly people know about them. And maybe I'm a metallurgist, I know them, but why is that the country doesn't know them? I mean, is it because they were never taught in textbooks, or I don't know where the fault lies. The third question is, we are successful in space technology, reasonably successful in nuclear programs, but somehow we failed in aviation technology. That is, for example, we struggled to make a gas turbine.
Okay.
So why did that happen? I mean, in spite of success in other two fields.
Good. First thing for you. Now, first question, I don't get into all these speculations. Gone is gone. You can't bring back Vikram Sarabhai or this one or Bhabha. A lot of things, this is just like, kurkure. When you eat during some cocktails or something, one can talk. That's all. So I won't worry about it. I don't read much about it. If somebody says it's okay, whatever it is. Second, why not known? Brahm Prakash. Do you know about Vasant Govarikar? Today, Bahubali, everybody is jumping around when that thing goes. That solid propellant booster was done right from the technology denial regime in the lab to PBA and all those names, polybutadiene, terminated hydroxyl and all that stuff. Those things were done and did it to that size because he was afraid of once if it is done for SLV3, it doesn't require that big. It is in Sprout. You go and visit there. He did it. How many people know Vasant Govarikar? Even Kalam they would have forgotten had he not become a president of India. It's gone. Because the thing is, science and technology, partly to blame is science and technology. It has not touched the lives of people. It has not touched the life of people. They have done a good job. But for the reasons which I said, many of those fouled out ones, in space now they know. It is something like some Rahul Dravid or some Sachin Tendulkar doing occasionally. Then once a century is not got, they will criticize it also. Or Virat Kohli now. So, space something is known. Even that could have gone much higher. Okay. So, this reason is not known is it has not made life. And then another thing also is the way the media functions is that we all want spikes. Oh, what is this? You got a Nobel Prize. You went into an Oscar nominee, these fellows are getting ecstatic. It's not a Nobel Prize is not an indicator of health of your science. It happens. It is an indirect health of how the institutions are functioning. They are not given freedom. So, it's a thing which will remain unless it becomes relevant. That is what Vikram Sarabhai has talked about it quite a bit. If there is time, I will read that out. Third one is, why not space aviation? This I will narrate. Atomic energy also is not done as well as it should have been because we are going around for getting nuclear power plant here. I feel very bad when our Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, has to go and tell Korea, "Arey Baba, give me." Whereas Korea started some 30 years later, they are bringing 1850 megawatt plant. Variety of reasons I don't want to get involved. Space, fortunately, up to now is fine. Okay. Now the reason is, I will tell you a narration actually took place between me and Professor Dhawan. I have talked about it in an aviation conference. What future in aerospace, it will be in my website. I put it also because they published it, it came in my website. We were traveling. Oh, he had a great passion for aviation. Because after all, he was an aeronautical man and then he is a practical man too. On one side, he is a master in mathematics and also in aeronautics. And he worked for some time to understand aeronautics. He worked as a mechanic in HAL before going to Caltech for PhD. So he is a very, very unique man. But he used to be telling. Then he was telling, we used to discuss many things, this is not happening, that is, ADA started, etc. Then I told, sir, if you don't mind, because as I told, I am known for my irreverence. We were sitting like this in the Delhi-Bangalore flight. Sir, he just looked at it. That means you can go ahead. Then I told him, sir, in ISRO, we fellows, none of us are getting great achievers in either science, scientific papers or academic or any one of it. So their only job is to prove by doing work. Kalam doesn't have one published paper, or anyone for that matter. Even Govarikar, who has done very good, he has written a book on polymer which sells even today, textbook. But they were all concentrating. But you know, one thing, in aeronautics, we had the doyens, Dhawan, then Narasimha later, but Raj Mahendra, many great doyens, Valluri, S.R. Valluri, they were all there. They were very well known in the level of the Caltech level. So you are all such a great academicians, excellent thing, recognized, but there is nobody to do work, project management. That is the problem for aeronautics. I am not decrying that great academic work, but if you start only there and then try to use that for LCA, precisely I know how it started, etc. I don't want to tell. What is the next question?
Hello sir, my name is Praveen sir. My question is, you said at one point of time you will be on the base level, grade D in ISRO or whatever, but your work on your head is more than what your capacity is. So at that point of time, how did you keep yourself motivated, or haven't you thought, I should be in a better place than this, I have to move on, this is the time?
Okay, can you repeat? You said that some level I was in the...
Like, I mean to say, we are in a least post, in the lower cadre post, and our responsibilities are more than our cadre when we are in a job.
Then you go up.
And you said, on my point is, at that point of time, haven't you felt that more work on me and less recognition? Because you told the graph is linear, if you want to gain post, like...
Yeah. So see, here you are assuming, we never assumed. First of all, let me tell you, that is why I said intellectual irreverence or organizational. You can sit down.
Yes.
Good question. I will be able to explain it now better. See, as a young person in ISRO, I don't know how it is now exactly, because I had some feedback, it is not so good, but still it is different. Is that when we were young and then doing in the bottom level, we still never feel that we are inferior. Okay? Of the big teamwork, I am also doing work. Whether man, woman or everything, we don't actually discriminate. We don't try to make a gender equation on it. Now there are more supply of women coming. Earlier it will not be there. You see a younger group, above 60 or closing to 60, you will have very few. So we didn't have any of those problems. So now the question what you are asking is, my lower level position, I am not getting more salary. So this problem is a problem which is dangerous for any organization. You are getting enough money, I say. It's not that you are not getting money. You are getting much better than many outside. And in those days, of course, very frugal, but still in those days, you had a provision for medical facilities and all that thing you have. So this, I did more work than the other person, not on. There is a method of promotion. Sometimes it gets little wrong, because initially starting it, Dr. Brahm Prakash was made the chair, because that is why he called Dharmaputra. That is, our error rate will be within 5%. That is, a person who really deserved to be promoted and not promoted, and a person who doesn't deserve to be promoted got promoted because of writing and then this, that should error rate will be within 5. That's all one can do for the people will crib. Then how do you measure work? This is not the same work like what you do. How many grade points? Even now the grade points are becoming such, everybody is getting 9.3 maybe, I don't know. But at least the other systems, Delhi it is, everybody gets 100 in the school. So that is not the right system. There are errors, there will be human errors, there will be jealousies. If you feel too bad that you are not well, quit it. Try to correct it, quit it. And especially you people are now in a type of organizations, future organization is not going to be like a Catholic marriage, till death it apart. Similarly, retirement death it apart. Okay? You have to be ready to quit a job before that organization kicks you out. 7 years will be the normal ones. That doesn't mean you can't continue. You may be in a different avatar in that same organization. So you have to be ready for that. Don't think of what that fellow is getting, what is the pay package, what is the ESOPs. They are going to add unnecessary stress. Keep doing the work. That's it. That's how it was. I never felt. There have been things which I have not got promotions, as you should have been. But it doesn't bother. Okay, that is the attitude you have to take. It will come. Don't think that I am not a saint, okay? It comes automatically if you are concentrated on the work. Work well. If your work is challenging, you won't feel about it. When you start feeling about it, see whether your work is a problem for you. You don't like your work. Then you find 100 other reasons to see why the work doesn't. Whether you are doing a research work, or whether you are doing a translation work, whether you do anything. What is the next question?
So thank you, sir, for journey, for being your journey of this science. Other than being a great scientist, you are a great writer. I admire your writings a lot. Today at a stretch, I read almost 7 to 8 of your articles. So all of your articles are very nice. And the way you write your articles, like first you define the problem, and then you provide the solutions, and there are future directions also. So coming on to this, I want to know how to be a good writer. Even today also, you have written this, this lecture, and it was very well articulated. So what is what the fund of your writings?
Okay, now on this, I would say first about one thing, about speaking and articulation. Well, thanks for the compliments. When Anna Mani used to be there, many of you won't know her at all. One of the great women scientists, was a Deputy Director General of India Meteorological. She is about 10 years. She will be even perhaps elder to Dr. Kalam. Terrible lady, but very good. Therefore, they didn't like, and then somehow managed to see that she doesn't become Director General of Meteorology. Anyway, but different. C.V. Raman used to treat her as a daughter. I will tell you this one, you have to remember. First about articulation. I would not have talked at that time, at your age, the same way. One other thing I will tell also, but I didn't suffer what she said, but I have trained many of younger people on that. When you start talking the first time, because nowadays all scientists and technologists have to know how to communicate in a short period. That makes it very difficult. So she told like this, C.V. Raman, as long as he was alive, he will sit there in the front seat and then the fellows will be talking. Only 5 minutes or something will be given. The international science, this thing. 3 minutes they will have to, within 3 minutes, define a problem, this one, that one, and finish it off so that one question can be asked. He said that Anna Mani, for the first time, oh God, he is there. She talked. In those days, mic systems also won't be good. She said, I talked, Rajan, I talked. My mouth went dry. The tongue is not lifting. And I talked. I didn't know what he is going to do. He got up. My other palpitation has gone up further. Then he said, Anna, but many others before her, some fellows have started meandering into something, great known scientist. Enough, you understood, you can come down. That is how C.V. Raman used to teach. He said, her delivery was a little, you would not have heard, she soft spoken. I will tell you what she did, he did for 2 minutes. Okay? Then she was, of course, a great speaker and other things. So this thing comes in life. Each one of us will have some defects. This thing was, when I went to USA, that helped. They say, Rajan, slow down. All Indians have this problem. We speak at gigabyte rate. We have to do in megabyte rate if others have understand. My accent has not changed, but you have to do. So this is one thing which you have to do. Now I will come to other items. Office notes writing, BP, Dr. Brahm Prakash. You will see it. Some people would have written, what does he mean? What does he mean? That is, you want to remember, very often when we write, you think that you understood, therefore others will understand. So what does it mean? Even sometimes you would have dictated. So this, always see what it means. So it comes over a period. You get very knocked down. I tell you, in many places, after I had talked, everybody will say very good, very good. Then I would have later think I missed them 3 points. So you correct it. That's how it comes. This type of my writing on several subjects is also because a lot of learning is there. I read, I get involved in that learning. So it will come, don't worry. You think that you will become, don't tell me that it will be tomorrow. I want to be a great data. Don't put that target. You say, one day I want to become a great speaker, great writer. You will become in the course of time. Get opportunities in which you do. And another thing, as I said, Professor Dhawan used to tell, after a lot of 2.5 hours, 3 hours, we will discuss. Rajan is better. That is how those notes came. It will be about personalities, everything would have discussed, but still, plus minus, this. Write it down. Writing makes one perfect. In between, like a good professor, he was a great academic, and writing makes one perfect, he will say. Write it down. Okay, that's all, don't worry. First of all, remove the fear. If you remove the fear, you will be out. That doesn't mean you are not looking at somebody's feedback. Okay. Yes, please.
Sir, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
The first is, I have heard from many people that in India, industry-academia collaboration is poor. I would like to know why is that so? And recently I heard from one of my fellow PhD students about a comment from Elon Musk. He commented that more than 90% of the research papers published by professors in academic institutes are almost useless for the industry. So my question is, should a researcher not pursue a problem if it has no immediate visible use, or exploration should always be encouraged? I would like to know your opinion actually.
Okay. To this, India is very poor. Both the fellows are to be blamed. And then another thing is, I said about the government, the rules don't want you to do. The academia is very happy because you are not. And then the powers that be, which said, you have to think in your mind who are the great science leaders of this country. It's not Dr. Kalam. Kalam, they will not accept him as a science leader. He became later, then they will go and fall his feet when he was a president, because they will like to get some Padma award. But those are the type of fellows. So, but these people wanted to become isolation. So, research. There was one great scientist who used to say, if something becomes very useful, then it is not a good research. Person is there. But let me tell you, there are many Nobel laureates now. Their findings have become patented. It has become industry. So it is a sort of a mixed fruit. Don't think that you have to be always useful, which is also not good, which will bar you from utilization. So you have to have some portion of you. We all have to know how to segment it. For some people it will be, they are like a Maharishi, some Jnani, they will be sitting and writing papers. They will be doing it. That also should be tolerated in the system. But if everybody wants to become that, the whole system will become parasitical. But when they are alone like this, a few people, then they are great source of strength. Then the bulk of the others, it has to fit into the whole system. I will read out something from Sarabhai, I think, little later. He has told about it. He himself was a basic researcher only. He was not he was in cosmic rays and other things. So he gives. Otherwise, you see in my, probably it will get loaded into a thing. He just says how that the continuation should be there. And the method of telling, oh, I have done it. You take transfer of technology, it doesn't work. Because this person has struggled. And what is not reported, I know it by strength of what we have seen many things, well, no paper, even including a good, nice basic research paper, won't tell you how many failures you had. I tried so many things, they didn't work. You will only report, this is my problem, I was searching for it and I got it. So everybody thinks you are a hero. Same thing about technology also. There are many failures which have taken place. You know what is the real proprietary strength of companies? It is the failures. Because if I am competitive, I will say let the other blighter keep on doing the same problem. I will not publish anything except my success. I do the patenting. So this is one item. Elon Musk is a great guy. No doubt, he is a very unique type of personality. I don't know whether in another 100 years a person like him will come. I am telling it really seriously. He is an entrepreneur, he was in this one, and he completely broke the NASA's management structure. In a sense, he challenged, saying that it is American, it is all technologies in America floating around, and you are the highest, costliest launch vehicle in the world. You are not able to compete with the Europe Ariane, who did it and then he showed it. They said you dumped, you have made a cost rigging. The European court went through it. He changed the management structure. Same time, great imagination. That vehicle which comes back, NASA has been working for 40, 50 years. He made something. Why make a parabolic trajectory and then go and catch it? Why not give a small propulsion to it so that it can come and come? So he has done, successful. So he is a very different type. So the 90% of the papers what he says, you have to see it in the context in which what he said. So the newspapers report only. Somebody would have told how much of ideas you got from the papers. It will be very little. In fact, when I was in MIT, the Lincoln lab, Bill Salz used to tell me, Rajan, he used to call me as Rajan only, I don't know why he made it. Great guy, solar and other items. So I don't know why, what happened in the MIT, because he is also concurrently, this is in 1970. I don't know why your countrymen, they come and pick up a small esoteric theoretical problem, come and sit there and work on it, fantastic work, but they don't get into, because the Lincoln lab, you have to be an academic of MIT, at the same time you would build satellites. So we need to strike a balance. Today the swing is too much saying that publish. And in fact the ranking of universities and other things only through publication is terrible. Because you are judging by a publication of a journal which has its priority. There are some exceedingly good work going on in IIT on the machine manufacturing sector. I know, I keep in touch. In IIT Madras I know, IIT Bombay I know. But those papers will not be accepted because they are doing something which is cost effective in the Indian context. They will say it is not a research. So this we have to have different criteria. We have to respect those people who are the rishis, gyanis type of people. We have to have those other people who will take to the bottom. Then we have to also accept people who are in the other end, work only with industry. Where industry people are respected. They have to taste the best products of the system. It is not being done. Actually, that is why I said, my Tryst with this one, in fact, a poem of mine, which is there in the Ode to Earthworm, the last poem. I didn't want to read it out here because it's a sad one. Agonies of missed national opportunities. Bitterness of the betrayals, of betrayals of the most trusted friends. Like this it will go. It's a problem. But hopefully you people will overcome. Because India, my hope comes from the fact, empirical fact, India works only on crisis. We don't think on planning. We all talk planning. 1991, Narasimha Rao had to liberalize, it was through a crisis. Now we are going through such an amount of other forms of crisis, balance of payment and this one, that one. You have to depend upon 85% of the things from the foreign countries for defense. Your entire IT is imported, hardware and software. Even the great IT bigs, I have respect for them that they created something, but none of them have created anything. You look at manufacturing sector, look at agricultural sector. After Green Revolution, it came from outside. It was not the invention of ICAR scientists. C. Subramaniam noticed it. He's a great man of Indian who helped Indian science, who could see the bridge. Okay? So it will happen. So maybe suddenly it will say, and our politicians, or therefore the bureaucrats who will write will be beautiful English, they will write a preamble, how India is now ready to liberate the education sector, how India is ready to liberate industrial R&D. They will liberate it. If you don't have many of these controls which are there, in fact Sarabhai says even DST should not form. After 1 year they have formed it. Because man was, this thing he says, there's a wrong way of looking at it. They have to be there everywhere. Okay, next. You ask all the questions because often the questions are linked.
In the course of your talk, you had mentioned about certain problems that is being done up, and then about which you do not want to speak much about that kind of a thing. And so when that be the case, I may to understand that different changes of the regimes, in the political regimes, for example, one type of government and the other type of government comes into power, and they also change, and the earlier one comes in.
Okay, fine.
So does that change the trajectory of all your research and all your work and all your targets?
All right. Your Kutti question has become long, so I got it. I got the essence of it. Next one.
And the number two is that, taking a cue from one of our colleagues who asked the question, I heard from one of my friends that certain of the junior scientists were also targeted, and they also died on account of certain special strange circumstances, and not necessarily of the type of Dhawans and Babas and
No, Dhawan didn't die, I say that way.
No.
Dhawan died a very peaceful death at home.
No, not...
No. Baba is one thing, Sarabhai is a different thing. Don't mix up the Dhawan with that.
No, those big... the limited point which I want to say was those big names like that was not targeted. Some of the junior scientists were also targeted in the early 2000s and stuff like that. Many people died under suspicious conditions. So would you want to comment on that particular thing also?
Next.
Number three, I would like to see that PPT presentation that you had promised us, sir.
I'll show that. I don't see, he had given up to 6 to 8. I want to go on record that political system in India, right from, because I know it from the 74 onwards, even a little bit earlier, onwards subsequently, every trials, tribunal, everything which are coming, scientific system have never been hampered by any political thing. Okay? I'll tell you a couple of examples. After, because I know this personally, Mrs. Gandhi was this one of INSAT study. It was a long study. After we did MIT study, etc., we had to define, we had to see what DOT wants, what all that thing was done. Then 1977, she loses election. We are all ready. There's only 3 or 4 weeks. It goes to, the cabinet note prepared goes to Morarji Desai. Everybody will normally say, oh, this fellow is undoing everything what she did. Within 3 weeks, he took the decision, including the INB which was designing, saying whether we need TV or not, whether we need, then he gave an instruction there. We have to put the thing. One option is they say they don't want, but the size is there, we can put it in. Because, satellites will be, this size means this vehicle, this size means this vehicle. Removing that doesn't go you into a lower version. So you are not getting any. All that we have written. Go ahead with your transponders and go. Because it is 3 years, this one. Go ahead, let those fellows decide afterwards. Similarly, SLV-3, when the thing failed, it was Charan Singh who was, he used to be described as a man who doesn't know, etc., anything. In those days, we were having only telex, 1979. So we cannot go to press and then say it is a failure without telling the minister, not the prime minister. Minister was, of the prime minister was the minister. We send the telex, do. One can be cynically say, oh, he is principal secretary or something, but it comes by his name. Just says, don't worry. Go ahead. All these things will take place. It has been so all throughout. It's not they who have to be blamed. It is many of the scientific leaders. In space, we had the sagacious people like Dhawan and others. In the other SNTs, is that this freedom which was given was misused. They trusted it too much. And then they will say, oh, this can be done. If I tell the name of which program, then it will identify the person, therefore I am not telling. Oh, this can be done, this can be done, that can be done. They get money, they do nothing. By that time, the politicians have gone off. So their idea is these fellows won't remain for a long time. So don't blame. As far as the SNT part of it concerned, they solidly, in fact, sometimes I feel they have been too solidly behind. They should have been occasionally, what the hell you have done? Give me the input to output of 15 years. Okay, so therefore don't put that. Second, this thing is, all these conspiracy theories, this fellow was killed and that fellow was killed and this fellow was arrested and all that. You see, lot of masala can be put in. And masala stories also sell. So you can't, great literature also will sell, masala stories also will sell. I don't want to comment on them because I know many of them personally. I don't want to get involved with that. Okay? That is the second question. Third question was, third was what? You wanted to see the PPT, which I'll show, definitely, I won't leave it. So, therefore, I would suggest not only in this field, in this country, using this freedom of speech, we like to spread all these rumors. Now it is much more faster. In fact, somebody can do research upon how the rumors spread, how it spread in 1970, how it spread in 80, then how the telephone started, STD came, how it worked. We can do that. So, don't trust it. Actually, you clean your mind out of it, and especially I will appeal to the young people, put all this. And as far as what comes in the newspapers and TV, etc., and also more in the social media, Murray Gell-Mann in 1984 has said, internet and other things are good, but still this is going to be the vehicle for misinformation, disinformation and utter lies. That is true. I know of many items. You know, in a remote sensing, when we take photograph, we don't interpret and then say immediately. We say something what is called ground truth. You have to go and check. And number of checks will be there. Then there is a statistical sampling and all that. Many of you will be much more better knowing on that. This is done. So, forget it. Wash your mind of all these items. In between you take it. It's like a pickle. Nice avocado pickle and all, but don't make pickle into your main food. Your main food has to be something else.
Due to time constraint, the next question will be the last question for the day.
I would suggest you read it once more and ask your question. That is the way you will learn.
Okay. Kalam and
doesn't matter your grammar is right or wrong, doesn't matter. Few more 2-3 months they may fool you, doesn't matter. You talk, learn to talk.
Okay. Kalam and yourself have imagined India as a superpower by 2020.
Okay.
It's already 2020 and I assume that we have not crossed the finish line. So according to you, how much percentage we have achieved and what is your advice for youngsters like us to make it 100%?
Okay, now number one is a particularly a wrong statement. Okay, we didn't dream. He may sometimes talk dream and all that as a President of India. He should talk at that level. What I told about TIFAC, it was done by about 5,000 questionnaire coming back, 500 people in variety of it. Please read India 2020 book. I don't know whether you have read it or not. If you are not, go and please read it. It will be somewhere in the library corner. Read that. So so much of work has been done to do it. Now you say it has not come, it has not reached. It will become a superpower. In that book you find out one word whether it has become, whether we talk about superpower and all. Later pre-media press, oh sir, when we will become superpower, he would have told it. It is not in there. So it is a superpower is something where, especially in Tamil Nadu, eppadi irthappa, super. So everything they want to say super. There is no super. Okay? Power, we were not also mongering, being a power monger. It was a variety of things which will come there. GDP. In fact, I got that thing because some questions will come, but please read. Because people were going on asking me, my November, December life was miserable. People going on asking. Then I said, I will write down what was given there. We have become GDP, that book will say, we will become the 5th country in the world. Nation in the world, it has already become. Not that I am very happy about it. That alone is not enough. And then another thing is finish line. Your countries, you are all there, I say. Me and Kalam has gone away, and I will go away after some time. The country doesn't end. You are all have to carry. You say finish line. You have become developed India, over. If you are a developed India and over, you will become 1 year you don't do anything. You will become undeveloped India, you will become from 5th rank, you will fall to 15th rank. It is a marathon and a sprint. You understand? No, you know marathon and a sprint. Both you have to do. So don't think that just because those fellows have done, it's all out. Okay? Read the book. There is also a book by him on Beyond 2020. In my website, what we have achieved, good news, not so good news, what is to be done, etc. are given. I tried to compress it and put it there. It will also be, I delivered it in a TEDx talk, it will come. There are other things, Prime Magazine, one of my friend, he has put it, she has made an interview. So you look at that. And you are all scientific people. Don't go by the statements of superpower and dream and all. Go and read the book. And then say what it is. Then one can see. Okay, there are a lot of good things. Please do that. Okay, what else? Huh? Oh, PPT. You should understand. See, in India, we are a huge country. I am glad, first thing I saw the Vande Mataram when you had to put it in, because I am trained because of remote sensing, Survey of India maps. There was no cartographic inaccuracy in it. Many people, they don't make the Sikkim right. They will just make like that, or they will leave the Sikkim out, or they will leave the Andaman Nicobar, or they will leave the Laccadives. That map was good. So now, coming back to that, India is a huge country. Variety of ups and downs and variety of things are there. What is happy, you give about about 200 rupees per day wage in Bihar. They will be very happily live. In Punjab, now it is even 400 to 500 rupees will be this thing, because the way of life. एक पेग नहीं मिला, एक पेग नहीं, आधा बॉटल तो चाहिए, bagpiper, and then इतना chicken चाहिए. That is the standard. You cannot say no. You should also eat only dal, this thing, and there are nice Bihari foods which are available. I have eaten all of them. I have traveled all through India also, in addition to many foreign places. So this variation is there. But all this collectively give what is GDP. I made a talk in some Tamil Nadu place, 1.5 years or so. Oh, foreign exchange is going down, sir, foreign exchange is going down. That boy's only thing is foreign exchange is going down, therefore India is down. Then I said, what do you want to do? I was explaining, do you know GDP? There are multiple factors which need to be seen. Therefore, you see GDP, you will be this rank, put for many items divided by population. We have a problem. It's not only us, China is a problem. Because Z said it in one place. We are happy because he doesn't take too often, because people will try to do, he's talking because they have to put some other figure. We are happy on one item when they become two. But we are also deeply aware that per capita wise we are not. So you have a problem of per capita consumption of milk. We are first in the milk production. Per capita consumption of milk will be low. So this happens is you have to have a reality check on even the education system. Everybody, if today you see the newspapers, only this thing will be how many people in IITs, how many aims were opened, what happened, how many got placement, your institution getting recognition by how much, what is the highest salary one got. People don't even track what that highest salary person who got, how many months he or she stayed with that. I have done a few cases, asked people to track. It's not safe, and that is not the item to be seen. But how do you overall contribute to economics, that the GDP, etc., variety of other factors are there. So, coming back to this, I want you to have one perspective in mind in the context of S&T, my Tryst with S&T. That is where Sarabhai has to be quoted. I hope that I will be able to get that page. Okay, I will not waste time in trying to find that thing. The thing is, you have to reach the benefits of science and technology to all of them, not in the same way again. You don't make everybody into a great astronomer. You don't think of making everybody into a Ramanujam or great mathematician. It's not going to be. Those days are different. You will not produce another Ramanujam. Very chances are, let me put it this way, chances of producing another Ramanujam is extremely low. Chances of producing another Chandrasekhar, anyway Chandrasekhar blossomed in some other country. I don't want to talk about economics and literature, etc. Because especially Nobel in economics and literature, etc. have become too political. Still, sciences are good. But they are there. But that is not the only indicator. So, unless the GDP per capita or milk consumption per capita should all be raised, but let it not be the standard of USA. These comparisons are wrong, because the lowermost one, what is called in the bottom, near bottom, not the very bottom, near bottom in the USA, that income is more than 90% of the income of the most of the people in the world. They are poverty line. Therefore, the comparison of the poverty line of USA and this are very different. And if the world starts going towards it, you cannot think about any sustainable development and all. People simply talk nonsense. If they start consuming that way, it's going to be a problem. In fact, these people are the people who are doing it. That doesn't mean they have to remain poor. Poor in a sense of slowly it will go up. Someday will come, they will also want a little bit, if not a half bottle, 2 pegs of back paper or something like that. If they want, they should be able to afford. But it will be over a period. But 3-4 things have to be taken care of. They are not hungry. Incomes are not in the same permanent jobs, but incomes should be reasonably be available. Health is a most disastrous part. In fact, in my books, it's not only this, in Empowering Indians I have written about the bulky base. That idea came because of a long correspondence with P.N. Huxer. That part of it, the bulky base, which is there on, there should be one person, the hawkers and all, everybody wants a clean footpath and everything. That hawker, if he is unwell for 2 weeks, that family is out. Because they are day-to-day living. So these issues are much more concrete and more complex also than merely dealing with the industry, academia, and which are also equally important. Don't think that I am undermining it. I respect the basic research, but there is a continuum in which this is to be done. So you have to see where you are. You are all one of the most luckiest. You will all think, this one fellow got 10 this thing. I am not saying don't compete, do it, but you have this in the background of your mind. So now you come the slide. And now I will quick something I have almost came to this conclusion, variety of it. Don't get into economic details about what is the income, what is declared. Nothing in India will be declared properly, because the time about 1951 onwards, when the elections started taking place, black money started generating. That's a fact. So, and there are variety of then license permit quota raj. There is a time in which about 10 lakh income were charged 93% tax. So don't go by that. But I am just seeing how much people will live. Yeah, that is good. Thanks. On the top apex is 100 million Indians. It is not only Ambani's. Sometimes it may be a local politician in a Gram Panchayat. How the money got, I am not questioning. No, Rishi Moolam is not asked. It is there. It will be that much. And many of you are being told, oh, start up and then you will go up. Most of you will not be. One or few of you may go. That will be a quantum tunneling effect. If you know physics, it is a quantum tunneling effect. It will not be. Don't try to make it into your goal. Do it. If you become, we will be happy. Other one is this 200 million upper class Indians. Many of you will belong to that. Some may not be. When I was born, my father was only a clerk in railway. He will be the lower middle class. Even though family was very highly erudite, my grandfather has done all Vedas and all that thing, we are very erudite people. But now I have now moved into the bottom of the UMC because of I am getting pension, etc., etc. But many of the people who join, you people do well, you will do much better. Now, many of them who are in the 200 million, all of them they think that they will become the 100 million. Not going to take place. I am not telling it from just like that. There is a very beautiful book, Origin of Wealth, by Eric, some Bornbacher or something. Murray Gell-Mann has formed a Santa Fe Institute. He discusses about the complex theory of economics. Then comes 200 million lower and middle class, middle and lower middle class. Your house servants to drivers to many of them, they may not have. Incidentally, those among the workforce, those who have full jobs, I mean permanent jobs, not permanent, I will say organized sector job, which has got terminal benefit, they are only 6%. People are talking about employment and unemployment, all nonsense. It is not today, it is so long, long ago. Most of them are living by their day. Some may be a big shopkeeper, another may be something else. So this one, they will all be there on the top. Here many of them are aspiring to go up into UMC. That is why many of them are struggling. They will put in English medium school. They will think that they will come to some IIT, they should get an admission. That is why there is a pressure on having more IIT, these things, etc. Then the bulky base, poorly struggled, they are not lazy guys. Poorly skilled and struggling and hard working, that is because of our entire school system, which is theoretically says that all Indians are going to be made C.V. Ramans and Shakespeare's and like that. Their English they will take, they will talk about Shakespeare. That has to be, I have written a great deal about it. Even education is the key, is also there in this one. There is also a book way beyond the 3 years. So that is the problem you people have to tackle. Not everybody. Some of you will go into the positions, some may become IAS, some may become something else. So you may find another corporate solution for them. So this one is the problem of India. Every 20 million, next one you go. This I did for 2005. This thing I showed to Sam, but he says, Rajan is so good. He told me to talk in somewhere in University of California. You just start, any age group. Even today it is 2005, even today 2020 also it is safe. It is like a train. 20 million children are born, they survive every year. 10, approximately 10 boys, 10 girls. When 10 million, 10 million. It goes like that. Now, within that, next one you see. If you look at that, dropouts at various forms from post are just 8. RT has come. Chalo, chalo, bharti karo, sabko 8 plus they give. They are not equipped for modern India. Their skills are very different. That skill development, we work very much hard in CII, but again they made a bureaucratic structure. Because the skills keep on changing. Because you don't want a skill of everything. Carpentry has got 85 skills. Hairdressing has got 25 skills. There are 5,000 or more. So that is not given. Then there is a data 10 plus, and I think this was done little earlier. High professional studies. You all will be not even in the line. You are all nano layers, IITs. Then NIT, then Central, then you are chartered accountant, or all that thing together. It will become, that is mass communication in some colleges, some law. That will be about 1.5. You can make it 2%. Of the 20 million. They are the people who will really be aspiring. It's good. The other one, higher education, now they say it is more. I have a doubt about the data, because bureaucracy is very beautiful in giving data, even academics. Gross enrollment ratio, E is given. How many drop out? Because so many people come into distance education, they are all shown as fellows who are registered. And assuming that even if it is 8 is 15, they are all, what I tell in many places, I will use the same thing. I hope many of you will understand. Falana degrees. Don't know, they cannot even use it for themselves. They will talk about history or archaeology, they won't know what the genetic applications have come, which has changed the whole thing. Because some old one which will be written 25 years, 30 years ago, there will be a Hindi translation or Tamil translation, something, or Kannada translation. So this part is your big bottleneck. Assume now, this has now start from 2000. How many of these would have been 70 out of 20 is 14 million, 1.5 crore. Why Indian elections are getting topsy-turvy? Because all these aspiring fellows, you are all told, but they don't get jobs. They won't get. I've done a lot of detailed research on this. Up to age of 30, many of them don't get. They are not able to marry. But the boys will run away. They don't want to do agriculture because it will not be modernized. I won't get into further detail. You think about this, but don't stop your studies and all. Whatever you do your competitive CGPA is very important. That's all important. That is at a micro or nanocosm level, you have to work for yourself. Then just like, when you travel in the airplane, very interesting thing they will say. Have you noticed it one? When that thing which pops down, many of you would have traveled by air, I say, at least once. When the thing, she will show, when it falls down, what does he say? Very good. Great, yes, she has just noted it. The thing is, they will just say, both in Hindi and English, first keep yourself and fit, and then before trying to help somebody. I tell for you people all the same. So you have to take care of yourself. There is nobody to take care of you. Then you have this in your mind. Some of you may find solution. As I am transmitting my whatever altruistic gene or mutant or what it is. Every mutant is going to have a problem. Next. Okay. Now I will leave this. Now I will tell you, I was a chairman of MI Manipur. These images I am going to leave with you. NIT campus, this is true of our IIT campus or any campus. We had 360, that Chief Minister was very good. I will finish in 2 minutes, I say. He is having his 5 minutes gap for wrapping up. So that place where you go, 360, huge land they had given. We have to go down, it will be a little slopey, muddy and all that. Our friend, sir, I am chairman. There was not a full-time director. That story is atrocious. You don't tell it, but I was very happy. I could get many things done. So I will go there. No, we will walk, I say. We will go there. When I went, I used to go regularly. I saw some small like this. I was worried. Is it to be encroachment because we were building a huge wall? Otherwise, there will be a encroachment. So it can't be encroachment. Let us go. I had been given a commandos because coming from this thing, state government wanted to protect me. I never will say, you be off. Then I said, you be off. I said, the children started running away. I saw some children running away. Caught. Then I told these other fellows, go and talk to them, saying that he has not come for catching you or something. You just, he got back. These images which I show is what they had done with out of garbages, thrown material and other thing. They have built a house, one single room, kitchen, a dining room. You just see it now. See this. Next. I got hold of them. Next. Okay, next. This whole team. Then I asked, see the thing, everything, kitchen, everything made, all thrown material. Then I asked, they can't understand much of Hindi. So I asked in English. That girl, which is there in the end, she answered. Her name is Sumitra. She said, sir, all of us come together. All of us did it. So this is what it was. Next. 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 See, I am seeing. Now you saw this? In that there was a hole. Through this they have come through. The kids they have come through. I had to find out this also now. So then next. See. Next. Over. Now I went to the Board of Governors. I said that, see this. How are we relating to them? See what a great architect. They are all students of 4th standard or 5th standard. They have done it. Now, can we not make it? Therefore, I had a formal resolution passed, even MHRD representative. He said, fine. So we should try to help some of them, put a small lab, something where let them bring anything. And some of you work. And then also get around, not anybody. If you tell DST, they will make an Inspire program, they will get top 10. You sell IIT, they will get a top 10 in the whole, this one with the following things. These children will never reach top 10. We need to raise the average of the bottom. And what do? All the local ones can be done along with that. There is no problem with all that. That's a thought I want to leave with you. That is also the Tryst. Finally, they didn't do it there. 1 year, then I was going off. They have a problem because filling up so many forms for MHRD. All that they were spending, then they have to be regularized. This problem you started here or started there, because that problem was not theirs. Because there are so many other things. So they did it. Nobody did. Then I tried to find out after 1 year. Could not find out which the children were. But I just told them, it's not. This I spoke in the Sarabhai thing also. In my talk on Sarabhai, Science and People, it will be there. I told. So this one, for me, is a real, this one was not an angst now. This is an anguish in me, which I want to transfer a little bit, because all of us have to take a little poison. Because there is no Shiva to take that poison. We all have to, there is a poem of mine. We all have to take a little bit. Okay? Anyway, it will be a very pleasant one. Don't think that all poisons are bad. Okay, all the best. Thank you for doing this. And we want a bright future for you. Don't think that your future is bad. Okay then. I'm fine now with all this angst and anguish and other things. You will not have any bad thing. Okay. Sorry, I've taken up to correct time.